Lepore, one big talking point from this game on the TSN broadcast.
Yes.
Second intermission, Gord Miller asked a question to Auston Matthews, and he said, this isn't word for word, I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically said, there was talk earlier that you're not scoring a lot of goals at 5-on-5. How do you feel about that, Auston? Because now he's obviously turned it around over the last little bit, producing more at 5-on-5. And Matthews, his shooting percentage at 5-on-5 still isn't anywhere close to his career average, but he obviously has been better recently. And Matthews just said, he kind of had a little chuckle, and he's like, I don't really care what you guys say in the media. Like it basically means nothing to me. I'm just going to continue being Auston Matthews.
Yeah.
And I want to hear your take first on those comments from Matthews.
So that's always the typical comment, like from the athlete saying like, oh, I don't read the paper. I don't listen to the media. It doesn't bother me. But the fact of the matter is these guys are human. So I don't believe that it doesn't get to them. Like I really and truly don't. I've talked to certain people who are in hockey who like have pointed to players and say like they just can't handle it, like that they don't handle criticism well. I believe Matthews, like, and again, like I'm not like some sort of like body language expert, but just based on like how he carries himself, his personality, how he speaks, like how he responded to the question, I believe him like that. Like he really doesn't give a shit. Like if he goes a few games out of goal and people are questioning him because he's confident, call him cocky or arrogant. Like it is what it is. But the whole thing about like, oh, I believe in my ability. Like I really and truly think he believes in his ability, and it doesn't faze him. And like, I think that's what's different here about this current team. And I just touched on like the Kessel, Lupul, Phaneuf Leafs. I look around this team and like people would bring up Marner and what happened over the summer and how he reacted and how the story or how it was reported, how he reacted. But you need a certain demeanor. You need a certain personality. And I will say it to survive playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs. You really do. And I'm sure it's the same in places like Montreal or other Canadian markets, but playing in certain markets is different and you need to be built a certain way. And I'm sure the management staff of all these teams, they evaluate these things before they make deals, before they draft kids. So I think that is something that kind of exists on this team. Like William Nylander, like he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, he doesn't care one bit.
Oh my God.
He couldn't care less what any troll on social media is saying, that anyone in the media is saying. He's just like, I'm William Nylander.
My hair is amazing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm doing whatever I want. And even like Tavares, like I think he's vet enough that like he knows the game. He wouldn't take it too seriously. Auston Matthews is too cool for school. Like, and again, say it because he's arrogant or cocky. It doesn't matter if it doesn't bother him, it doesn't bother him. And then even say like a guy like Riley, he came into this market at 18 years old. He's not phased. Like he can say whatever you want. Like it's not going to bother him. Like he just cares about himself and how the team's doing. It wasn't the most ideal comment from Matthews. Like I think his verbiage could have been a little better. I don't think he worded it the best. I think he could have worded it a little better to Miller, who quickly said he loved the answer from Matthews, but he was honest. And we're constantly shitting on the guys in the National Hockey League for being boring. We wish they'd be more like the NBA and the NFL athletes, where there's always takes and excitement and things to talk about. So I'm okay with it. Like, good for him for saying what's on his mind.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Lepore. And I know it's not the best for entertainment purposes when me and Lepore agree all the time, but you said it, man, about Auston Matthews. This guy doesn't care one bit. Like he knows that since the moment he entered the National Hockey League, he's been arguably the best goal scorer in the league. If you still want to put Ovechkin ahead of him, by all means, go ahead and do that. But
yeah, not bad, that guy. Yeah, Ovechkin.
It's like the dude is like 26 again. The numbers he's putting up this season. Crazy. Insane. But yeah, Auston Matthews, he's right up there with Ovechkin. They've essentially been the two best goal scorers in the league over the last 6 years. He knows how talented he is. He knows he's getting a ton of looks, and he knows that the puck is eventually going to start going in at a higher rate than it is at the moment. And yeah, I agree with you. I thought that he could have had better verbiage, just the way that he worded it to Gord Miller. if he started it off, I believe, saying like, no offense, but
Yeah.
I don't care what any of you guys think.
Yeah. And that's kind of the age and the immaturity, maybe. But
Exactly. But I do like how Matthews has come out of his shell. Because you go back to when he first came into the league and Lou Lamoriello was the GM. Didn't he have that rule where no rookies were allowed to talk to the media after the game? There was some weird Lou Lamoriello has all kinds of bizarre rules. Like, you can't have facial hair and things like that. But, Matthews, he's really come out of his shell over the last little while. Even going back to the offseason, he's hanging out with Justin Bieber. You see him front row at the Mets game. He's all over social media. Like he's obviously like he's a fashionista, right? Like the dude loves his fashion, and he just
the Movember campaign was amazing with his skates and stick and all that, just like getting him out there. And
exactly. So he strikes me as a guy that just doesn't care at all about what anyone has to say, specifically on social media. And it could be a very rough place when you go into that comment section on social media and you see what some of the people are saying. It takes a thick skin. I don't think a lot of people realize maybe what some of these athletes go through. I'm even saying that. Me just posted a video on TikTok, or us posting a YouTube video. Sometimes you see some of the comments that are made. Imagine what some of these athletes are seeing on a daily basis. But with Auston Matthews, it seems like he's just blocking it all out. He's doing his thing. He knows he's awesome. And he's just going to let his play do the talking.
Exactly.